gentlemen, thank you very much for coming in once again to Thick Chicks with a Thought. I am your host, Sheila Buon Joseph, and I am here with a lovely friend and colleague and classmate. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sonie Joseph, and we've known each other for a while now, man.
Yes, and we're not related.
Yeah, I know, huh?
We're not related, but we have the same last name. We're both Haitian. I mean, it's awesome. We went to school together. We've been in the hood together. I mean, it's awesome.
It's Mattapan for life, as they say.
That's right. That's right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are here for another episode of My Woman of Color. And like I said before, My Woman of Color is people that I've dealt with in my life that I appreciate and that I would like to reconnect with, and also to have them tell them what they've been going through as a struggle, so my listeners will be able to connect as well. So, Sonie, can you please let me know if you'll hear in the background my daughter? That's fine. Please don't worry about her. She's a diva in herself. So,
of course.
So, Miss Sonie, please tell me where you're from originally. I know where you're from, but my listeners don't know. So I'm going to act like I don't know you, and we'll take it from there. So please tell us where you're from originally.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sonie Joseph. I am actually originally from Boston, born and raised, but my parents are, of course, from Haiti. Mattapan for life. I've moved out of Mattapan, but back up in here. I have 2 kids, 26 and 10.
I'm sorry, wait.
Yes, that's correct. That's
26
correct.
And 10. 20, all right.
26 and 10. Yeah.
All right. Good job. Good job.
Oh, yes. Yes. Life has taken many turns and stuff. So.
Okay. Now, can I ask you why did your parents come to this country?
Well, it was just to really better themselves, especially with my father. It wasn't just for him. He originally came here and started the movement of getting a lot of the other family members up here.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So they all appreciate it. It became like a movement, like he was working towards that, figuring out a way to get everybody up here who wanted to come up here. So all his sisters, God rest their souls, unfortunately, all had been up here. So he's the last one.
He's the last one.
He's the last one. And so there's like nieces and nephews all over the place, you know, up in Montreal, New York, and of course Boston and Florida. So everyone's everywhere, but he's the one who actually pretty much started the movement, especially with his side of the family. Same with my mom. Like my mom, my mom's grandmother, God rest, my grandmother, God rest her soul. Right. And then my aunt, and then nieces and nephew on that side too. So it just became more of a movement, just to make sure that everybody had a fighting chance to get better for themselves. You know, mostly, and as most with most Haitian, it's that education.
Of course, baby. We need the education.
Yes, education, as they say.
That's right. So, can I ask you, what part of Haiti are you guys from?
Hesh. So we up in and around the mountains to get to Hesh.
Okay, so
from Port-au-Prince.
Girl, my family's from Okap. So So if we at the mountains, so we got to go around and then go to you.
No, it's up.
It's further down,
through and around and around, and then down and then up and then down some more, and then you're there. So it's a few hours of going this way, making sure you're not falling off the hill.
Oh yes, yeah. I remember back in the day when I used to take the camionette.
Yes.
Ooh, from Port-au-Prince.
No, it wasn't no camionette for us. It wasn't camionette for us. Daddy had a car, so still
yes,
that's not,
girl. That's and not, when we're going around the hill, and beep beep beep, and
because there's another one coming at you, and it's like, okay,
exactly.
Nah.
Yeah, that's testing skills and and testing fear.
That's what that was. Throughout the whole ride.
Hard palpitation.
Nah, that's too much.
Oh my goodness. So at what age did your family, your mom and dad, come over?
Since we were actually all born here. I'm
Mhm.
gonna say they were probably in their early 20s.
In the early 20s.
Um,
Okay.
I'd say I'm not sure how long they were here before they had Marie.
Hmm.
So I'm not sure if it was a year or two. So they were like 26 and 29 when they had Marie.
Oh, okay.
And Marie is my oldest sister, just in case people are
Oh
like, who's
yes.
she
Oh
talking
yes. I'm
about?
sorry. How many how many siblings do you have?
It's four of us
Just
with
four
my
of us.
parents. It's four of us with my parents, four girls. So I'm the second, and we have two more girls after me,
Okay.
midline and Anthony.
Oh.
But so I'd say maybe a year or two for Marie. So they were
Mhm.
like maybe 23 and 28, sort of somewhere around there.
Okay. Okay. Now you say you have two children,
Yes, ma'am.
and I know that sometimes I've seen this in some in some cultures, but mostly in Haitian cultures. And here's the question. Does your children speak Haitian Creole?
No, and I'll tell you right now, my daughter's pissed at me for that one.
Woo!
Oh
Wait,
yeah,
what?
she's not happy with me on that one. And she's trying to figure out. Oh yeah, she's not happy with me and my sisters. Um, but she is trying to rally the older kids, the older nieces and nephews,
Mhm.
to see about doing a course to be able to actually learn how to speak Haitian Creole. Um, which is good that she's actually pushing proactive and want to do it, because she wants
Right,
to be able to go down there on her own
right.
next year to visit my father, because my
Wow.
father went back down there. So she actually,
Oh, he did. He did go
he
back?
hasn't. Huh? Oh
He
yeah, he
did.
went back. He
Okay.
was up here for a little bit, but
Okay.
this ain't for him.
Okay.
Up here ain't for
That call, no.
not for him. No,
No, okay.
not for him whatsoever. So, but yeah, no, they don't.
May I ask why?
It wasn't on purpose, I guess, because also part of it was that we didn't really speak it as often at home.
Hmm.
The only time really spoke was when my grandmother was around. There was
Okay.
no ifs, ands, and buts. There was only Creole with her.
Hmm.
No anglais.
No, no
It
English.
was no anglais. It was Haitian Creole. It was Creole with her.
Okay.
Um, and I think with her, especially with her, because
Hmm.
unfortunately my grandmother had died just before he was born. But with her, if I had actually left her with my grandmother a little longer, because she was the one taking care of her, she probably would have picked it up. Because she was learning. No, I'm serious. She was learning it. I think I should have just left. Although I wanted her to have that assimilation of being around other kids and learn how
Hmm.
to be around kids, but I should have left her with my grandmother a little longer.
Wow.
Yeah, she
Okay.
probably would have learned it and would have been better. Because it tends to be more difficult when you're speaking two languages to them. You'd have to straight speak one language only with them for them to pick it up. So if I
Oh,
only
okay.
spoke just Creole, because I realized that a little later on in life, if I had just spoke Creole with her, no English, and have her learn English more with her father's side of the family,
Hmm.
she would have definitely picked it up. Because
Okay.
for it, having that double language coming out of one person, I think makes it a little bit more difficult. I kind of learned that later on. And then further on, when she got older, it probably would have been easier. But
Hmm.
having that one language only with that one person would have been, I think, more helpful for her
Okay.
to.
Now you say her father's side. Now, is her father English? Was he born here?
Bayesian.
He's Bayesian.
It was
Okay.
her father was born here, but his family, mother and father, are Bayesian. They from there.
Okay. All right. Now, can I ask you how is it dealing with a person that's not of your culture?
I think with him, it wasn't as bad for the simple fact he's also from an island. And I
Mm,
think the the cultures in the islands can be somewhat different depending on the island.
okay.
But I think there's this, I don't know how to explain it. This,
Commonality that you guys have?
yes, the way they figure out how to
Mhm.
raise their kids and the certain
Right.
things that they tend to do,
Mm-hmm.
it tends to be somewhat the same, that certain things that you ain't gonna say, certain things that you ain't gonna do,
Right.
the tone, the respect, and how they're raised, even with, some people may not like it, but yeah, spanking is something some kids need every now and again.
Right. Right.
So I think it was somewhat a little bit easier than it is when it's I'll say a Black American. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
it's really different. The cultural difference is really it's a whole lot different because um his father is Black American, so I really saw the difference between the two and how I have to deal with certain things and the
Right.
understanding of the cultural differences.
Yeah, I can understand that too because my husband is also Black American, but he's from the South. Even though he was born here, his mother is from the South, so he has that Southern hospitality and all that. So,
Yeah, it's the same, but I don't know. Sometimes I think some people don't always bring that with them. Some people
mhm.
forget that, and some people don't.
Oh yeah, my
So,
mother-in-law is straight Southern, honey. I can't even understand the lick she's saying sometimes. She'd be like, "Dap, dap, dap, dap." I'm like, and I look to my husband,
you
what she
better
say?
explain. You better you better interpret.
That's right.
And it's funny because it's like it was the same situation with her father's father, her
Mhm.
grandfather.
Okay.
Oh, it took a while to understand Lloyd. That thick Bayesian accent, I was like,
Eh,
okay.
what? What?
Mm-hmm.
What you say? What?
Mm-hmm. Oh, it took a while to understand Lloyd. I understand him now, but it took a while to understand
Oh my God. His sister, Sherry,
Lloyd. Hmm.
actually, who was born here, actually went back down south and is living, and she came up here to visit.
It's a whole different thing now.
It's like, what are you speaking English? What is going on?
What happened? What happened?
And then my husband would tend to pick up the lingo, and then he start talking that, and I'm like, yo, I
And
gotta
it's
bring you
like,
back.
switch back. Come
I
back,
gotta bring you back.
back to me.
We're
Come,
Bostonians,
come back to
Northerners.
me. Come back to me.
That's right. now, now with your family, your daughters being Bayesian and Haitian, as well as adapting American culture. How how important is it for you to keep that that Haitian and Bayesian culture in their lives?
For her, she gets more of it from, her grandmother and her grandfather. Um, I think the best way that they're actually learning it, and it's through food, understanding that certain things. I'm not
That coo-
joking.
that cuckoo and flying fish.
Oh no, don't tell her nothing about no cook. No, don't no. It's better yet. Her rice and her grandmother will only make the rice and milk for her. She don't make it for none of her kids no more. She will only she will only make it for her baby because that's her first baby. Nala
Right.
is her first baby. She'll make it for Nala. She won't make it for none of her kids. Her uncle actually asks her to get her grandmother to make it for him. That's the only way he gets it. No, but it is through food. Just like my son, you can't tell him nothing about no rice and beans.
Oh,
You can't tell him nothing about no jus coreapua.
right,
Or
right,
better yet,
right.
jus blanc sauce. You
Woo!
can't tell him
What's
nothing about that.
you can't.
No, and then she loves herself some super jumu too. So
Oh, very good.
that's the because I tell you sometimes that's the best way for them to connect is through the food. Um,
Right,
but it's
right.
also, and I know I've been lacking is just letting them learn about the other aspects of it. That I don't really have them learning the struggles, and that's one thing that we got to get better at with the kids, no matter what. Just
Mm-hmm.
like Jamaicans would have to make sure that kids know about the struggles that they have at their island. Bayesians, the
Right,
same thing.
right.
It's like we have to actually teach them, and I know I haven't done a good job, so I know I have
Mm-hmm.
to get better at it. So
Yes. Okay. So in being knowing the culture, I mean, just being in its essence is very important to you, and it's very
yeah,
important for them. And do so. Do they understand at least a little bit of Korean?
Nala, she's getting better. She's getting better at understanding because that's how
Okay.
my mom speaks too. She speaks
Okay.
mostly Creole, and that's what I speak with her. And with Nala being here, and she's hearing it, so she's getting a little better. And when my
Mm-hmm.
father was here, she'd try to conversate with him and stuff like that, and figure out that certain words and stuff like that. So it's getting better with her. But yeah, I have to figure out a way for them to actually learn it.
Do,
I don't want it to be completely lost. I don't want it
do,
to be completely lost. I want
do you
them to be
laugh at
able to.
her? Do you laugh at her when she speaks? Stop it. You see, you're already
No, no, not
smiling. You're already
really.
smiling.
Not in the sense where I'm completely cracking up, but I'll smile at her sometimes because because sometimes it's smile of appreciation for the simple fact she actually said it right without me having to adjust it for her.
Right.
So she should have said it right. I'm like, okay, shoot, yeah, you
That's
got
right.
that right.
Everybody know what you're saying.
Yeah,
Bathroom,
exactly.
toilet,
Yeah, exactly. So it's not really cracking up like, what the heck are you saying type of laughing. It's more like, oh, okay, so you hitting this. All right, mommy ain't,
Yes.
that's the type of laughing I get when
Okay.
I do
Very
talk to
good.
her.
Okay. Now, looking at your children, do you believe that social media plays a big part in their lives of what's going on into the world? I know that I don't know if you're on TikTok or not, but there is a challenge a while back that where they had children destroying the schools, taking out
Yes,
tape. You
he
see,
decides he'd be scrolling through TikTok and yeah, I'd be watching that. But he's not really on TikTok like that.
Mhm.
So, I maintain and watch and stuff like that. You're not gonna be up on it all day, all night
Right,
either. And
right.
he's just more scrolling through. He's more into the stuff that are like the funny jokes or the stuff that has
Mm-hmm.
to do with like the video game. So anything
Mm-hmm.
like that, the challenges and stuff like that, he has not really paid attention to.
Okay.
And those things are more recent, so it's not something even my daughter would even pay attention to. That's just stress and stupidity for her. So she's like, yeah, whatever.
Right.
She's like,
Now,
whatever.
now, are you afraid of your child growing up in this new America that's starting to form?
Especially him, because she has more of an opinion right now. So she's
Mm-hmm.
formed her opinion, and she's trying to figure out where she wants to go. But she's a bit older, so she can digest and figure out things for herself.
Mm-hmm.
He's in the sense of like in the limbo right now
Okay.
because of his age. He's like just getting into that. He's now a double-digit kid.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're in that funny stage of trying to figure out not to be that younger kid, but you're
Mm-hmm.
still not older teenager, so
Right.
he's limbo stage. So it becomes very impressionable, and you're still trying to figure yourself out. Friendships and things like that,
Mm-hmm.
and trying to and instill in him not to be a complete follower. Yeah, you can do some things that
Mm-hmm.
you're doing here and there, but not to be a complete follower that you just blindly following. You got to think for yourself. So it
Right.
becomes a situation that, yeah, you unfortunately are going to worry. No ifs,
Okay.
ands, but you're going to worry.
Right.
Still worry about her. She's 26.
I still worry about my parents. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, being that your father is back home, and your mom's here, how have you handled adulting? Adulting for me was when I was taking care of my mom, and it came to the point where she was on the hospice, and I was the immediate caretaker, and I did everything up until she passed, and which was a hard transition for me.
Mm.
And I was wondering, when did you start your adulting for your family? How has that been? If
I
you have.
actually, we actually haven't. Well, for my father, we kind of had to. He was
Mhm.
here
Right.
because he was having issues with the eyes and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Get him wherever he needs to go, his appointments, and making sure he's walking properly and stuff like that. So yeah, we do worry about him. But my mother, shoot, she's still going where she wants to go. She's still going where she wants to go. Don't tell her
Okay.
nothing. She travel all the way to Quincy to Walmart or go over here to where she needs to go.
All right.
No, she's still walking. She's still going. So
Okay.
it's a good thing, especially after surviving the breast cancer. So
Mm,
wants to go here, let her go
okay.
here.
And how was
Just,
that for
just
her? How was that for you guys dealing
the
with that? The breast cancer.
in the moment it wasn't fun, just
Mhm.
having to go through that whole process. But she's gotten better. It's a day to day. I know the few years after the whole diagnosis and the
Mhm.
whole process, because of the type she had and the fact that it was after menopause, she didn't. Her recommendation for her process was not actually chemo. She actually did I forget what they call that pill. It's a different type of process, but it was the pill process. to go through hers for her chemo, for her
Mm-hmm.
transition into getting it better. But it just wasn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
And it also wasn't fun. It also wasn't fun for what, maybe 5-6 years later to tell her that that's the same situation with me.
Mm-hmm.
And the same side, same breast and all that stuff. So
Right,
yeah,
right.
that was not fun. That was definitely not fun.
Okay.
But
and how did you cope?
girl, I'm still coping.
Mm-hmm.
I am still coping because I'll tell you, I went through the motions during that process.
Right.
I wasn't coping with that. I was just going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sorry about that.
No
Devin,
problem.
Devin. The boy done went fall asleep on me. So yeah, I was going through the motions during the process, just
Mm-hmm.
going through chemo, just going through surgery, going through my radiation.
Mm-hmm.
It was probably, I'd say, a good 6 months after my last treatment.
Mm-hmm.
Randomly broke down, started crying,
Wow.
just started crying out of nowhere. It's because I wasn't processing.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going through it.
Right.
And it was kind of hard for me to process because it was her senior year.
Wow.
So it's like you got all the stuff that you're supposed to be doing, the prom and good stuff. So it was, and it was hard on her too when I had to tell her.
Right.
So it was just also because I was still trying to be strong for her.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like maybe 3 or 4 at the time, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I was literally just going through the motion.
Wow.
But it and that tends to build up, and that's what happened.
Mm-hmm.
I still haven't completely processed. In the process of getting myself some help to actually deal with it because it's not just that I know I have to deal with. So I know some people I'm finding a stigma, but therapy is something people really need to do. She has her own therapist, and I wish I had gotten her help sooner
Mm-hmm.
because I think she had stuff that she needed to deal with. Because there are certain things that, especially since she had gone through medical, so you're in and out of certain things that you're dealing with around the neighborhood and things that's going on out there in the city that you're going to school in. So, and at that age, you don't really want to tell your parents what's really going on and whatnot. So it's like a double-edged situation. So, but yeah, I'm trying to see it, but help myself because I feel that not helping yourself is negative effect on your kids because that can leak on your situation, can leak on your kids, and I don't want that. So
Okay. So how which was going to lead up to my second my other question is that, if you have ever sought therapy and if you what would you tell listeners who have gone through breast cancer? Is
I would
therapy
I
essential?
haven't done the therapy yet. I'm in the process of getting it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I had done it then, I think I probably would have been in a better space.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would have been in a better space. We would have dealt with it a whole lot better. I probably would have gotten a whole lot comfortable sooner. It took a while to get completely comfortable with the situation, what was going on, and the fact that my body is completely different now.
Mm-hmm.
Because I did not get the reconstruction done because of the
Okay.
process. Because everybody's cancer is different and the process is different. A lot of people will have the reconstruction done before they even have chemo and radiation, but my process was somewhat different. So it's getting used to it and getting comfortable with it. And I think I probably would have been gotten comfortable and better with it if I had sought the therapy before. And they do recommend it, but I was still in that stigma of myself also.
Okay. Oh, was
Also,
it or was it the Haitian in you that say we don't need therapy, we can do it on ourselves? If you go
pretty
to
much.
therapy, you crazy. Eh?
Pretty much. Yet people find it normal to talk to themselves. That's nothing crazy.
That's right. That's right.
No, I don't talk to myself too, but as far as you're concerned, that's normal. So
That's right.
so that's normal. So but
Okay.
yeah, no, I'm in the process because I'm realizing that there's a lot, not even just that, there are other things that I feel that have affected my communication skills and
Okay.
how I see myself and how I deal with other people. So I know I need to get better at that. I still got a whole lot of life to live, and I want the next half of my life to be the best possible. So
Okay. Now, do you have a significant other?
no.
Okay. Now,
Do I have a friend? Yeah. Do I have a significant other? No.
Okay. Well, please, people, reach out to Miss Sonie Joseph at Sheila. If you got friends, all right, but you need a significant other. I'm praying for you. All right.
I I'm kind of not really rushing for that right now, especially
That's
not
right.
this year. Especially this year. This year is about me getting what I need to get done. You
Absolutely.
either with it or you're not. You either gonna help or you're not.
Okay.
That's where I'm at right now. I've got things I'm trying to do, with my crochet, and I'm trying to learn a new skill with Forex trading. So I've got things I'm trying to do. And you
Okay.
either with the fact that the schedule's gonna be tight and I can only do so much with you, and you appreciate the fact that I am still even, conversating and seeing you when I can.
Wow.
Or you don't. Or you don't know, because I've realized I've put too much in other people's.
Right.
It's like, it's time for me.
Okay.
It's time for me. It's time for me.
All right. Before I go into the background of your scenery there, I wanted to know how do you appreciate yourself as a woman, and how have you evolved?
And that takes a while, and you have to be, and I think I developed a better appreciation of myself when I started getting more comfortable with what happened with breast cancer. It became something that you have to, because you have to get comfortable with the outward. And being comfortable with that actually has slowly forced me to get better at being appreciative of the inward, and realize that you are worth more. Don't just settle, because I realized I was settling. So it's like, you're worth more. Stop settling. Right. Learn from the mistakes. Stop settling. So that's why I'm not really rushing into that.
Okay.
Just gotta do for myself, and because no matter what, even in the relationship, that person is not the one supposed to make you happy. And that's the one thing I had to learn. You have to make yourself happy to make that relationship work the way it's supposed to work.
Exactly. So I appreciate that. So how about the crochet and the yarns in the back? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
And this isn't even all the stashy. So I've got some stuff in a couple of these things up here, and there's yarns here. I've got I think there's a box right here too, and I've got a couple of boxes out there.
All right. So did this just become a hobby, and then boom?
It was a hobby, and actually it was during sitting there crocheting while I'm in chemo treatments. I was literally making a hat and scarf during treatments. And then a lot of the nurses were starting to appreciate, giving feedback, appreciating the way the craftsmanship and the work was. So I hadn't thought about making it a business until later on. It's not fully grown. I've just been, as they say, you learn from your mistakes. I'm learning a little bit. I've had it for a little while, but I've now gotten to the capacity of figuring out where I want it to go and what it is, the branding I want to do. So it's, for me, the main line is going to be my bags. Be it the clutches, shoulder bags, handbags.
All right.
But that's the main line, is going to be bags. And I'm trying to develop it so that it's more specific in the terms of showing appreciation for certain things that people are going through.
So can I ask you this? When are you going to be ready for a crochet war? Because it's about me and you, baby. I know how to make some blankets and some hats. That's it.
Well, the blankets take a while. That's why the largest no, that's not a lie. The largest I've done is the one I made, which is about a full-size bed. I made that one for Paula. I gave that one to her for her birthday. So I made one for her. But the largest I will ever make to sell is a throw. those take a little bit, but not as much. But and those are I think something I won't do too often, but because they do take some time, and I will definitely do that like a custom request. I do
Okay.
custom requests for people. Like a
So,
friend of she had wanted I did 2 pillows and a basket that you'd put over your toilet seat, like a paper, your toilet paper.
oh,
So
okay.
that was a combo I made for her.
Oh, and so I'm just here free willy nilly. You don't come over here and say, Sheila, take a basket so I can put a punny on my head.
Oh, you know what? And that's a skill right there.
That's
That
right.
and that's the thing, and it's funny when we were just talking about learning the cultures. I was like, the thing is, a lot of people don't understand. Women entrepreneurial is not a new thing. You
No.
have them in Haiti, Madame
Yes.
Sandras, as they call them. That's a whole entrepreneurial thing that mostly women do. They don't
Yes.
understand that. I actually saw documentaries that somebody did a couple of months ago, and that's what it was. All about the Madame Sandra, them and how they do and how they're dealing and the stuff they have to cope with, the stuff that every now and again, guess what, somebody's going to try to rob you,
Right.
the disparities that we even face up here and trying to get the loans to even started,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. People just don't see that and understand that. It may be a different culture, but guess what? Especially as women, we
Mm-hmm.
still are fighting just to get in,
Right.
just to get in and do what we need to do for ourselves.
Well, okay. Well, please let our listeners know how they can reach you if they want a little sample, a little chapeau.
Well, how about I give you a
So,
little sample at one of my bags?
all
This is
right.
right
I
here
will.
is a handbag right here
Oh,
with my
very
nice,
nice.
with a few little things right there. It has
Okay.
a magnetic clamp right here. And of course, I line my bags because that's the best way to keep them to last, especially with the crochet. You don't want them stretching and not
Right.
lasting. This one's like a handbag.
All right.
Handbag.
It's not. And how long would that take? We.
Oh
How
yeah.
long would that
My
take you?
Chavez. Mashi. Well, this one, it will take, I'd say maybe a week because I'm, doing it in between my actual job.
Right.
I still have the full-time job. So this is
Yep.
between the actual job and making sure everything's set. And I want to make sure that the lining's done properly because I want this to last. I want
Okay.
this to be something I appreciate as much as they do. So it
Okay.
depends on the item. So I have clutches, other things like that, but I can be reached at Instagram, Facebook, or email. It's all ND Designs 87. So for
Indeed.
email, it's nddesigns87 at Gmail or nddesigns87 on Instagram or Facebook.
Okay. Very good, ladies and gentlemen.
And
Please check out Miss Sonie.
I'm almost done getting the website up, and that is also nddesigns87.
All right. Very good. I love it. I love it.
Keep it the same across the board. Makes it simple.
That's right.
Makes it easy.
It does. So my last question to you, my dear, if you were to write yourself, if you were to write a letter to yourself for you to open up in the next 5 years, what would you say?
The first thing would be, dear Sonie, love yourself more.
Mm.
Love yourself more. You got to love yourself more. If you don't love yourself more, you're not gonna exude that for other people to appreciate you. Because if you don't, people are just gonna walk with you and be like, okay, yeah, who you? You
Right.
have to love yourself more to show that love and that appreciation for people to understand and respect it. So
Absolutely.
love yourself more is my first thing.
Okay. Very good. Well, thank you, Miss
Of
Sophie
course.
Joseph. Thank you so much for coming in and sharing
Yes.
your time and your experiences. And I hope my listeners will enjoy and they will contact us. This is another episode of Thick Chicks with a Thought and my series of My Color Woman with my lovely lady Sonie Joseph. I really do appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So,
thanks for you for actually doing this and having this platform. This is good. This is very great.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please, I will see you again on the flip side. This is Sonie Joseph and Sheila Bourne Joseph here on Thick Chicks with Thought. I thank you and I will see you again.
Bye, everyone.